We don't condone the use of any illegal substance or any illegal activity. This video is intended for instructional and educational purpose only. Watch at your own risk. Viewer discretion is advised.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And they got it with a green leaf sway. See bunnies rolling up, we light it our way. Mr. Get got the bombs, we puffin' all night. Talking cultivation, yeah, we're feeling alright. Light it up, feel the vibe, let it be known. Garden cultivation, network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Shouting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night. Wednesday to Friday, we keep it alive. Cannabis talks, everybody's feeling high. Sharing secrets of the grow, it's a sacred art. In this cultivation game, you gotta play your part. Keep it real, keep it tight, watch the plants grow. Garden cultivation, network, we on the scene. Rolling that green, living out the dream. Chatting about the strains, how to plan it right. Join us every week, yeah, we light up the night.
Yo, yo. It is Wednesday.
It is. Happy Wednesday, everybody.
I was going to say, you can still say Happy Wednesday. All I did was say, it is Wednesday. How's your week been so far?
This week, it is flying by. So most of us had Monday off. So the week is definitely flying by.
Yeah, it was nice having Wednesday off. Nice little break.
It was.
Beautiful little break. Family Day here in Canada. I don't know, does the US have Family Day?
That's a good question. Somebody in the chat would have to answer that question if you guys had Family Day on Monday.
Or if it was a long weekend, what was the holiday?
Yes.
Because I'm not sure. How rude of me.
So I
didn't even ask my American homies.
Oh, no.
How rude.
Thank you to everybody who's joining us tonight. Just a reminder that we are on Spotify under Garden Cultivation Network. We are also on Instagram this is going to be great. Under Garden Cultivation Network. We are also under Sea Bunny Grows 2 and Mr. Dash, Dash. Would it be Dash?
Underscore.
Yeah. Underscore. There you go, that one. Organics.
It's like my 94th Instagram account. Bunny's 92nd.
Pretty much.
We're going to talk about some of this algorithms and content creating and some of the tips and tricks and things that may help you over the course of your content creating careers, lives, whatever you want to call it, with
things you may know and things you may not know.
Exactly. Yeah, some of the stuff you very well could know it. Some of it you might have no idea. I know we were talking to him in the background, and he mentioned already a couple things that I didn't know about. So I think I'm going to be doing some learning tonight myself. So I'm excited.
Yes, me too. So thank you everybody who's in the chat. And tonight's special guest is
Dun, dun, dun. Be the
bug guy.
How's that intro tune have me bouncing, right?
Nice. Nice. Yeah, Bunny had to change it. Because speaking of, content creating and stuff like that, we had a song in there before that was off of CapCut, and YouTube kept hitting it for copyright. So some other things.
So we're gonna try this one.
Creating.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what?
Yes. But before we get into all that, would you like to introduce yourself for those who don't know who you are?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for having me on, and welcome, fam. I'm Dwayne
Absolutely.
Boudreau. I go by D, the Bud Guy. I'm a licensed grower, a content creator, licensed bud tender, media manager. I manage the social media page for Green Rush Nutrients, and I'm
Nice.
the newly co-host and creator of the Higher Choice Analogy podcast, which maybe we'll get into later.
Sounds
Yes,
good. Nice.
sure.
That's cool.
Yeah, want
That's
to save a
cool.
little tidbit.
Yeah. So how did you I guess we'll start off with how long you've been doing this for. Like how long have you been content creating for? Were you doing this before you got into growing or is it something that kind of started at the same time?
Went hand in hand.
It went hand in hand. I think I think my urge came from two different directions. One was when I first started growing it indoors. Um, I started documenting my first grows because I was growing them with like nothing. Like I was literally like bag seed, um, like first indoor grow. Okay, so this is a long time ago. This is 6, 7 years ago, and I was growing a bag seed in like the corner of my basement with like tinfoil walls and like house lights, and making my own nutrients and shit. And the crazy thing is, I thought if I can grow something, I like nobody's gonna believe I can do it. So
Right.
I did it, you know. And the reason I started that way was my wife challenged me. She told me I couldn't go out and spend all my money that I'd seen on equipment that I watched in like the Northern Scroggers videos, you know.
Yeah.
So for me, it was a bit of necessity. Um, I think I was looking for camaraderie, and what I seen is a lot of it on like I started on WeedTube and YouTube. WeedTube was a real thing. If you've been around for a while, you may have heard of it. You may not have heard of it. Rob CLTV did a great video on the death of YouTube or WeedTube. But
It's funny because
it
I
was,
think that's actually who I heard of WeedTube from because I came in after that was already gone, I think. Or maybe it was already on the tail end of it or something like that. But I never saw it in my time here. But I've definitely heard Rob talking about that. So
um, the nice thing about that platform was because it was pure cannabis and they had zero discrimination. Like you could post anything. And like really, like people would watch it and they would push it. Like they'd even feature, they take turns featuring growers and stuff like that. They had like a lot of different special interest sections too. And it was all based off of advertising. It was a good idea, but it was poorly managed and it fell apart. But because of its freedoms, and because I was getting like, you know, I'd make a video for WeedTube and anything would go, but then you'd put it on YouTube and YouTube would go, "Fuck you, you're not playing that."
yeah.
You know what? You can't show
Yeah.
that. And it was, you know, at the time, it's not that like I was watching the videos, so much like I think a lot of people, I was confused. You know, I was wondering why the people that I loved watching were so successful at it, and
Right.
you know, I guess the creator of me thought, "Fuck, you know what? I can do that." I also found like I'm a bit of a nerd, okay, so I don't mind watching like these long detailed. Like back then, there wasn't a lot of entertainment, with some exception. Now, guys like Mr. Canuck and like Pigeons for 420. Before he even like went big, he was doing a lot of those videos then, and like Rob and you know and Northern Scrogger. And these were the guys that I watched and inspired me. But I could watch like there was this guy, his name was Green Jeans Gardens, and he would talk about like light diodes and shit, and I was just like this, you know.
Nerd note on it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I would nerd
Yeah.
out, and I'd be talking to my friends and shit, and they'd be like, "That's really cool how you explain that." Like, you know, so it just became a bit of an extension. I that was my first identity is like the guy who was doing it with nothing and learning and trying to kind of reverbalize and show you what I learned, you know. So
Yep.
that was a lot of my early inspiration. Yeah.
Okay. Which is funny because a lot of the people that you just mentioned were a lot of the same people that I was watching at the very beginning as well. Mr.
Yep.
Canuck being probably, if he wasn't my first, he was definitely up there in the first like two or three of them.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I could
And I
go
used
on
to
like
think to myself, like, "Oh my god, I don't know how this guy can take a seed to harvest video and make it so detailed and so
yeah,
perfect and so good." You know what I mean? Like, there's so many things that he does. He's very, very talented with his video
his
editing and his
his
video
model
creating and
is
stuff.
like, if I'm being honest, like my first, like what I looked at and how I developed my style was it definitely had to have been mostly influenced by him. And
Yep.
I, as a grower, my techniques and things were mostly Northern Scrogger. Like he's still to the day he's my girl. He's like my girl crush. But like
I
I
love
mean,
that.
like it's flat out man crush. I say it all the time, and he probably gets weirded out when he hears it. But that's just respect. I mean, like that's respect, and he's only gotten better.
Yeah.
He's earned everything that he's getting. So good for Troy.
Absolutely.
You know, and to meet him meant a lot to me too. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think Mr. Canuck was likely my greatest influence because if you look at my videos on like my series videos, if you watch them, people probably notice I always got music. I got backbeats. It's almost hip hop, very much like
Yeah.
his is. Transition into a different sound. His have kind of like they have a flow to them, and he does like a lot of panning slow mos and transition shots and stuff, and that's pretty much been the focus of like how I edit too. So, you know,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, he oops, what am I doing over here? Moving things around.
Mhm.
Yeah, Mr. Canuck was always when it came to my growing style, absolutely. That's where I very much began. When I started learning about organics and stuff like that, I 100% went with his his way. I went
Mhm.
with Gaia Green, worm castings. At first he was using Pro Mix, and that's where
Yeah,
I basically began. He created a monster. He created
yeah.
Mr. Organics for sure.
I
But
agree with you too. Like his video on like he showed me the basic level. I think like the most organic and like the most detailed gardens that I grew, my first influences that way were the Mendo Dope Boys.
Nice.
yes,
They did a like when they were doing those like right around the time they got busted, they really went heavy on the like no till living soil, build your raised gardens. Like the size of their things is really what inspires me as an outdoor grower. Like when you look at the plants that I grow outside, they're usually very large. So I'm basically emulating the people before me in that sense. So I guess by saying it now, um, that's my homage to them too.
beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I 100% agree with that. 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I was doing some stuff in the background there, trying to pay attention and do shit at the same time, but it wasn't working very well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you've been you've been busy this week. You've been kind of putting together some information for us. You've been getting inside your own head this week and
Yes.
and picking your own brain, trying to think of some of the stuff. Because a lot of the times when somebody says, "Can you give me some tips on something?"
Yeah.
It's hard to give people tips because what might be a tip for somebody else is just something that you know. And it's not necessarily what you in your mind think is a tip, right? It's just things you do while you're doing stuff, whether it's video editing, whether it's gardening. They're just part of your routine. They're part of your what you do. So
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard when somebody says, "What's can you give me some tips and tricks?" It's hard to come up with that. So you've spent a little bit of time and you've kind of picked your own brain for a little while
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
come up with some good advice for us content
Absolutely.
creators.
So I think what I want to first start with is like when I let's start with how I put a like content together. Like where does it all start?
Yeah,
So for
Yes.
me, um, the first thing I need to understand is where I'm going to put that content. So like when I look at the kind of content that I'm going to make, if I'm making something that's very short, it's likely or it's going to be on Instagram likely, right? And at which point
yeah,
I have to kind of cater what I'm going to make towards that audience specifically. But when I'm making more longer detailed videos, my process always starts with music. Music is the driving force of every video, even on my reels.
Yeah.
It's where I start because at the end of the day, it's going to carry the tempo and it's going to be the engaging part. The fact is, I think we all love music, and
Very much so.
sometimes you can use the music to your advantage. And I grew up around musicians and DJs, so my musical knowledge is a little bit out there sometimes, and I do pride myself on listening to a lot of kinds of music. So you'll hear anything between Bill Withers to Chris Webby, like so.
Yeah.
In my thing, or even some Metallica or classical or mixed both. Like so,
Yeah.
for me, it's like that's it's always going to start with that, and from there, I have OCD. Like so, for me, it's really everything's a puzzle piece. I learned to stop taking my OCD out on my plants and kind of knowing that I would film these things and want to make a cool video for you. I decided to utilize that in the editing, and it's kind of how I got at least comfortable with it, how I fucked around and
Mhm.
found out. So I'm
Right.
gonna like I'm gonna
I
talk to
like
you
that.
guys a little bit. I'll share some apps that I do use when I'm building a
Definitely, yeah.
video. Like,
Yes.
how about we start with say like I'm going to start with this app that I use first because it's a good segue, and I think we have an opportunity to show some people a little bit about what I'm talking about. So I think this is a good lead in. The video that I make my videos with is called Video Leap. I
Okay.
believe it's. I know it's available on both Android and iPhone. I have an iPhone I
Okay.
use as my primary phone, and that's where I make all my content with. I don't use a laptop and fancy cameras. The odd time I do use my drone, but it's all done on my phone and it's done in that little app. It's a free app, just like
Which is
CapCut,
even
It's even
better.
better.
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So the thing is what I always recommend to anybody who is like, okay, well, if that's what you're using, I'm going to use it. So if you use Video Leap or CapCut, get comfortable with it before you consider using the subscription. You're gonna like once you
Yep.
know how to do the basics, you're gonna want to use those other things to jazz it up, or you're not. And before I show you how I use Video Leap, you had a comment to me backstage, funny, and it's funny that you asked. And just in the comment section, if you use CapCut to make content, throw some fire marks up because I'm going to tell you how to use the free one and get rid of the logo.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you use
That,
CapCut, throw some thumbs up or some fires.
Yeah, just so we know if you're using it or not.
because where you're going with this,
Yeah.
I've been seeing it a lot lately, and I
Mhm.
think it's fairly new because for a
It
long time
is.
they didn't. This wasn't an issue for a long time, but
Mhm.
I'll let you kind of get into that and kind of
Okay.
talk about that before I ruin it and say this is what it
Yeah.
is.
Okay. So,
Yeah.
what the best way to use CapCut, the free option? I don't use a subscription for CapCut. Okay. Now, only because I'm comfortable with using Video Leap. If you have a subscription for CapCut, you have many of the same features, and it's almost the exact same setup as CapCut. I see a question. What is CapCut? CapCut is basically it's it's actually the most popular app for social media creators because it's basically template built based where um, they've done everything for you for the most, and it's
Yeah.
most commonly used where you just kind of insert your content and it takes trending reels formats and it does the work for you. Okay, that's the best explanation I can give for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll give you like a
Oh
video and you can literally input your stuff into it.
yeah.
And then
So
now it's your video with their music set up to
yeah, and
their
they save the template,
everything.
and they have a community in it.
Yes.
So the long and the short of it is this: the first 5 seconds of your video it says CapCut, and you all hate that, right?
Sure, we can even show this just briefly. It's the
Sure.
video, it was your intro video for when you came in,
Hmm.
because this is a perfect example of what we're talking about with that.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So up in the top left corner, I believe, on my screen, it's the left corner. It might be something else on your guys' screen when you see it, but you'll see the little CapCut logo.
7 seconds, yeah.
Hold on. So it shows that little CapCut logo up in the top corner, and this is what we're talking about here.
The simplest answer is right in front of us. You just start your actual video, like everything, like your music, everything. Just burn the first 7 seconds, because if you're making a reel and you upload it to Instagram, you get to decide the starting point and the end point. So you just start at the point where the logo ends, and now nobody has to see that. So what you can do is just take a picture. Take a picture with no sound, make it 7 seconds long, and then start your video. So when you record it, you won't have the logo.
It's a good tip.
And that's very smart. And I remember a while back, even for I can't do it anymore, they caught on. But before, when I used to use CapCut, I would screen record my video done because that had pro versions. So I would screen record it and then just cut it out. And then it was doing the pro stuff for free. But they caught on to that. They don't let you screen record anymore.
Yeah, because you can do all the pro stuff, you just can't save it.
Yeah,
that's right.
I do recommend, if you're serious about making content, to whether it be those apps or another app, whatever you're using, if you're comfortable with it and it's a reasonable price, then I do recommend that you use it if you're trying to make a more serious content. And so a lot of the features, a lot of them have AI built into them now, which is really handy. And I'll get into some of the benefits of AI later. But for now, what I really like to do is I made earlier in the week, when I realized I was coming on, I kind of realized the challenge in explaining some of this to you as the viewer. So I want to try and show you some of this as well. So with the help of Mr. Organics, I asked him to send me 5 random videos, which I kind of figured out halfway through editing. I'll explain later. These 5 videos, and I said, I'm going to make a reel. It'll be for you. You can use it. And he sent me 5 well shot. You did a great job, by the way. You had nice angles. You everything was in good resolution. So he sent me 5, and I just kind of demixed it for him, okay? And I also made a video as to how I did that. So we're going to show you how I did it, and then we're going to show you the finished product.
Perfect.
All
right, here we go.
I'm D the Bug Guy, and welcome to this brief tutorial as to how I made a reel for my buddy, Mr. Organics.
Hey, Mr. Aaron. Your song.
For me, I always start with music. It's the driving force and sets the tempo for the video. I tried Hippie Sabotage, but I ended up settling on Aaron Cole, My Year. What you hear and what you first see will determine whether or not you'll watch. So this is a very important step. By using a counter effect of the logo coming up and you zooming in on the plants, it creates a beautiful contrast. When selecting the transitions, I look at the way that the video lays out and how it merges into the next. I decided to add some beat corresponding with the music to give it a little bit of vibrance. And to make it easier on your eyes as you watch, I decided to chop it up and not use it throughout the entire video. In this video, I mostly just used slight fades. You'll see that there's quite an option between morph and light and different aspects and different effects that you can use to transition from one to the other. I did use a roll at one point later in this video as well too, because it worked with the angles. Now that the intro and the body are complete, I want to add a nice ending, something to lure you in, something to make you aware of who's involved, and if there's a message, this is where it's going to go. In this case, it was Mr. Organics logo, the Garden Cultivation Network, as well as adding in some spider farm so you can support the channel. Don't forget to use code GCN. Now let's look at the final version of the video.
Nice.
Nice.
That's cool. So you want to watch the actual video now that you've seen the making of the video. Here's the finished product.
They're just amazing. I can't. They're just so good. You've outdone yourself. I know you be trying, and it's great. And you moved up to the next level. You're so great. You're famous.
Yeah, a lot of girls probably crying from my old high school. Look, they see me everywhere they go. I probably would too. Look, crossed over to the Jordan man like I'm Michael. Yeah, eating blessings so much I might need lipo. Yeah, tailored for the dogs like I'm walking in chucks. Yeah, it's just in this plan, man, I see all y'all shook. Look, knew that I was great ever since I was a rook. Man, all y'all singles making me look good. Okay, praise to the most high, yeah, that's Jesus. Look, but when it come to this rap thing, I can't lose. Yeah, back to back number ones, that's the thing greats do. Yeah, tell them boys that ain't nothing I can't do. It's my year, it's my year. Look, God made me for this, man, it's my year. Look, ain't no more games going for the kill. Working for this way before it deal. Cause this my year, this my year. Look, God made me for this, man, this my year. Ain't no more games going for the kill.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
So, a couple things that I
One
want
thing
to
that
point out about that, and we were talking a little bit about it earlier.
I wanted to
If
point
you
out one
notice,
thing quick too. But
pardon me?
I'll wait until after you're done because
Okay.
you might be about to say the same thing.
I don't know if you noticed, but there was a part in your video where this is where I realized the different stages you'd sent me. And I thought, how cool would it be if I took the zoom in and shot and I penned in, like, because you had early growth stage video shots and almost the exact same shot you took like late bud. So
Yeah.
I was like, how fucking cool would it be if I zoomed in and I morphed it and changed it into the mature bud from the earlier stage bud? And I hope was that what you were gonna say?
No, that's not what I was gonna say,
Okay.
but that is cool. Though one thing that I was
That
gonna
is.
say is, I don't know if maybe you didn't even know. I assume you do, but you had two different um aspect ratios
Yep.
in there. You had one that was made for like an Instagram reel,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had one that was made for YouTube.
Yep.
So that's another thing when you're making content, you got to know where you're putting it because if you're making it for Instagram, it's going to be one size, and if you're making it for YouTube, it's
Yes.
going to be another size. So that was we saw a perfect example of it right there. So
So I'm gonna run through some of the other apps, and I want to talk a little bit about Instagram versus YouTube. And when I said earlier as to when you decide what kind of content you're making and how you're going to make it, I can explain that a little better. Okay. So the other apps that I use, um, and they record this. So if you don't have the pen handy or you want to ask, hit me up in the DMs. I'm always willing to help. One's
yeah.
called Mematic. I don't know if you've ever seen it or heard of it, but you can make memes. I'm not a big meme person. I don't even like really spending too much time with them, but I do make
Yeah.
them for Green Rush sometimes, and I know a lot of people love them. So it's a good app. So not kidding. You can make some pretty funny things with it. It's a free app, so
Okay.
100%.
Cool.
You don't have to have
Bonus.
some memematic logo. It's pretty slick. The other thing too is like sometimes just crop. Look at where these things are. You can crop it in your on an app. You can crop a lot of these things out too, right? So this is getting little
Yeah.
logos is really easy. But here's an app that I think you guys should all consider if you're making longer term content. GCN, if you're gonna make, you guys might want this too. And a lot of, if you do have like a specialty channel, this is really good, and it's called Video IQ. And the reason
We
I
actually
recommend,
use that.
pardon
Yeah.
me. Yeah,
We
We
use
use
that
that
IQ. Yeah.
actually.
okay. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate of it, and I like the AI features. I like, it's like having something intuitive to run something by. Okay, so it
Yeah.
does have coaching things. It'll create AI generated pictures for you. It'll give you dialogue if you want. I don't use that. I'm a wing it guy. Like I just feel more comfortable making content that way. But it is it's the most comfortable and easiest using AI-based app that I've used so far. So I'm going to recommend it.
Okay.
And like it's part of the reason I've had a lot of success in the last bunch of months on YouTube. Okay. So in the last bunch of months on YouTube, I've been able to translate what I normally, and like I've been at this a long time. So it kind of bothered me that I had what I would call poor results for the amount of time and stuff that I put in. I thought, why am I only getting like 50 views still? Like, and I would think, okay, it's the algorithms. And I kind of just bought into that. And I thought, you know what? If the algorithm's working against me, I need to figure out how to get it to work with me. So I did a few things. I use the Creator Studio. So if you have YouTube, you have you can have Creator, and that's really good. It will tell you who's watching, when they watch. I don't mean like who's watching as in it goes like see Bunny watched at 2:30.
Yeah,
That's not
no.
what I mean. What I mean is it'll tell you like your demographic, male, female, age,
Yes.
key cities, countries. But it also tells you there's a chart where it tells you when your viewers are actually active. So I've been looking. That's why I've done the premieres recently too. Like I've done video premieres. That's increased a lot of engagement, which tells the algorithm that people are more active with my videos. So the algorithm is a taught behavior. What you put into it is always changing. So it's always changing because of that. So if one of the biggest little cues that you can do on both social media and YouTube to move ahead is schedule your content. Because an algorithm doesn't know your video when you post it. Okay. Right. So you post a video, you make that video you're really happy about, you post it up so everybody can see, you can't wait. I did it for years, okay? And you get hit or miss. But if you schedule it, Instagram or YouTube has whatever time between you scheduling it and it being posted to learn about your video. And an algorithm's job basically is to show it to who it thinks wants to see it. So the more you get the algorithm a chance to know you, the better chance that you actually have of using it. So once it's using it, like you don't change that. You let the algorithm do the work. So what most people will do and what I used to do is I'd share the shit out of it.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing when you do that? You're telling the algorithm that you're going to look after it now. You shut the algorithm off.
So they just back off and they won't even help you anymore.
It's going, I fuck you. You got it. You think you're smarter
You
than
got
me?
this.
Yeah.
So what you were saying before with scheduling, what you were saying there was basically, say I want to schedule it for tomorrow at 9 p.m. And I post it today, but it's scheduled for tomorrow at 9 p.m. So Thursday at 9 p.m. It has from 9 p.m. Wednesday to 9 p.m. Thursday to learn about your video being there, and it's going to start kind of working its magic already at that point before it's even available to anybody. YouTube's already figured this out.
And here's the thing, when you schedule it on YouTube puts up a little thing to everybody who follows you, and anybody might be recommended now as it adds. It's going to send them some sort of a little thing and give them a chance to notify them when it goes live. That's now increasing the chances. Let's say that they don't come and watch it live. They're still more likely because they got that notification to come and watch it.
Right.
They got a reminder to watch it now. So you've actually used YouTube to market for you. So what I have a video that I could post Friday, but I'm actually gonna post it Sunday because I had great success doing it last time. And what I did is that's 40. I'll upload it Friday. It'll have 48 hours to spend the time. In that, once I upload it, now Video IQ can look at it. And Video IQ will go, I don't like your fucking thumbnail, D. Looks like dog shit. And the two biggest factors that you need to be seen and to actually grow to new people is this visual. Like, you got to make yourself visible. So the only way that you can do that is to have something that's appealing in the first section, like, so that a thumbnail that's appealing, but also a title. Everything's in your title. So, like,
Yep.
if you can take a word that means the most and get it into your title, you've used the search engine optimization. So you're using the algorithm, a keyword. And the thing is if you post on YouTube, you can Google it and find it. You can buy.
Yeah.
You can't buy shit off of Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. You can't plug in a product and have it directed there, but you can plug in. You can plug in Green Planet nutrients. So we'll use you guys, or Hygrozyme, and Hygrozyme videos from all these things will show up. It'll show up in YouTube. It'll show up in Google, and then the link to bring them to YouTube will come up. And if you have the right words, you're the link. If you're the highest viewed, if you're the first at it. So you have to learn how to be unique, and that's where AI will help you distinguish it. Okay. Now, Instagram, and so
I was
the
gonna
same
touch
video.
on one quick thing with
Sure.
thumbnails though too, is you can actually look this up. I don't know 100% what they are, but there are certain colors that trigger certain things in our mind. Blues, yellows, reds, all these different colors. When you see them without even realizing it, your brain automatically does it. It already thinks something.
Okay.
So when you're making your thumbnails and stuff like that, learn what these colors are because you can add these colors to your thumbnail, which makes it visually appealing right away, which then turns you to read the title.
You need
Yes.
intrigue, visual appeal. Um, has to be clear. They don't like distortion, so you have to have clear images. Those are the things
Yeah.
that the thumbnail that the algorithm will look for. To answer the question, should we use hashtags? The simple answer is this: on the social medias, no. So that's Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, no. On YouTube, yes. Yeah, yeah. It's a big thing. That's where a lot of your search engines. Don't use hashtags in the titles. They don't like that either.
Right.
So I
Just
want to
down in the
compare.
description area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So understanding your audience is really super important. I want to tell you something that might shock you guys. Okay. So I told you earlier I got like average about 750 views per video now. Okay, that's where I'm at. I got one right now that's just a little under 1,600 views. It may hit 1,600 by now. I don't know. But the reason I bring that up is that of those videos, I get an average of about 5 to 6 minutes of view time per video, which is pretty big actually. Like, it's just, I still get lower numbers compared to the giants. Okay.
Right.
But it's a huger number than I was getting before. And the
Mm-hmm.
thing
And you got to
is
start somewhere.
yeah.
You got to. That's what you just kind of got to get that rolling.
Now I want to
Yep.
compare that video to the video on Instagram. It has about 600 views, which is pretty good for a long video on Instagram. Okay. But my point is, do you know what the average view time of that video on Instagram is?
No.
Bear in mind,
Probably under a
that it's
minute.
5 fucking minutes on YouTube. Okay. So go ahead and
Yeah.
answer, please.
Probably under a minute.
Bunny
13
says under a minute.
seconds.
I was gonna say about 30 seconds, but
13.
When I get it.
That's
Oh,
a
wow.
1-3. That is fact.
See, after 1 minute, I'll usually stop. I'll admit that. Unless it's like very interesting, of course.
So I point that out because it's important to understand if you want to be heard, you need to
Stayed
understand
in the
how to be heard.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People on Instagram don't want my videos. I'm fine with that. They like my short-term stuff. They like my reels and stuff like that. And they tend to get a kick out of it. And I get better support through that. And I understand that.
I think
So
that's Instagram as a platform, though. I feel like Instagram is
it's
more
just
of like a shorts platform.
TikTok won't even allow me to upload it. It's a community violation every like, it's the
Every
smallest shit.
time, yeah.
Like, I'm a fucking community violation to TikTok. Just being D the Bug Guy is a violation. Okay? So
My very first video I ever posted to TikTok, it was up for about 5 seconds, and then it
Yeah.
was taken down. I don't even think I had a view on it yet. So I
I've tried
just
like
kind of
5
stopped
times
at
and
that.
it's like but now I like Instagram, okay? And I know people are losing accounts, and I've lost a few. And I'm going to say something that I hope doesn't bite me in the ass. I want everybody to take it with a bit of a grain of salt. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story as to why. But I have the blue check mark. I am meta verified. Now, a lot of you go, fuck, why you support YouTube or Meta or anything like that? And I know that you have your reasons why you may or may not do it, but I'm going to tell you why I do it. I've not had a community violation in a year and a half. Look at my content.
Yeah.
Look at what I content. I post the same plants you guys do. I haven't lost an account in a long time.
Knock on wood, definitely.
Yes.
Don't
I
talk
haven't
about
had-
it too loud.
Yeah. Now, I'm not bragging. I want you guys to consider something.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not having those issues. And I believe the reason why I have some limited success on Instagram and why I don't necessarily get followed, like I haven't had some of the issues. Okay? Hopefully don't. Nobody fucking test me on this, please. It's because Instagram makes money 2 ways. New memberships and subscriptions. I'm a subscription to them.
Yeah.
When your accounts go down, you're a new
They
membership.
lose that subscription.
You're a new membership. So the thing is they report to their stockholders, and that's how they look, and that's how they that's where their advertising money comes. And it's on the strength of those numbers. So when I made a reel a long time ago and I said, Instagram doesn't recommend cannabis growers, it's a fucking business. That's the full story, okay? So when you think about it, don't waste your energy trying to fight, fuck Zuck and all this other stuff. You are so suppressing yourself by taking the negatives. People really need to take breaths. Not everything needs to be so personal. If you disagree with somebody, it's not a beef. If you want to be successful, you can't go at people all the time. You can't take your mood swings in here. People don't want to see that. They will tune you out.
Yeah.
I had an experience. I had an experience in here about a year and a half ago. This was the last time. This is why I meta verified. This sounds fucked up to many of you to probably hear, but I swear to you, it's 100% true. I had a reel go viral on Instagram. It got 243,000 views. Until you guys took it down. And I say you guys because it didn't go down for normal violations. Okay? Like it was like sex and stuff that, those are the commonalities that the people that come at you use, right? We've all been there. I was there then. Okay? That really fucking bothered me. You know why? Do you remember what I said last time about us being all connected?
Mm-hmm.
It hurt me, not just
Absolutely.
because it was taken from me, some sort of success. Like, imagine the opportunity that cannabis could have had. But you told whoever that was, or collectively,
somebody from the cannabis
they
community.
told the algorithm that no, you can't let cannabis do that. They were talking to me, but what they did is they attacked cannabis at the same time, because that's what I promote.
Which attacks all of us at the same
All
time.
of us.
Yeah.
Yep.
So That's why I Meta verified, because I
Yeah.
watched people's accounts going down, and I work as hard as any of you. I think you all work hard. If you're watching, you care. Okay, there's a part of you
Yeah.
that wants to be better at it. Some of it's confusing, and I'm hopefully just going to try and fill in some blanks. Okay, but I want you to consider your approach to it, just in general. Just if you're going to spend the time that you do in social media, learn how to make it worth your while. And if you want to be a happy person, you can't follow angriness.
Yeah.
So, and the thing about support is, as long as you support good or bad things, they either prosper or they die off, right? So, if you support good things and you don't support things that break everybody else down, if you just want to join the fucking melee, go back to
Yeah.
Facebook. You know, so
Exactly. So that's the key right there. Just don't support things that you don't agree with.
you teach your own algorithm what you see. So it's by who you follow, it's what you suggest, and it's going to take everything in your life, and it's a byproduct of who you are.
Yeah.
So,
Good points.
thanks for that.
Very
I know
good
it's a bit of a
points.
long story, but
No, that's okay.
like
I
that's
think it's important though, because this is some of the stuff that we as the community need to hear, we need to know about, because I think a lot of these people that are out reporting people for this and reporting people for that because they're mad at them, they don't even realize what they're doing. They just think that they're attacking me or they're attacking you or they're attacking Bunny, but they're attacking all of us at the same time. So I think this is
The
great
cannabis.
information for
Yeah.
all of us to know.
thank you. I want to open it
So
up to questions because like I got to think that maybe there's some questions, and I'd really like to open that discussion up a little bit
Yeah.
with the
absolutely.
viewers while we have them. I don't know how the time is and everything, but you guys can, or if you have your own questions. But
We got
uh,
about 10 more minutes, so if anybody does have questions in the chat, they can pop them in there, and then we can try to throw them up on screen as we see them, and then
yeah,
answer some questions for sure.
yeah. Oh,
Absolutely. No, I think everything that you've kind of touched on. I think honestly, I think we could probably do a whole nother hour on content creating. We could probably do another 6 hours on content creating because just like growing, there's so much to learn, and I might
Agreed.
when I got into when I first started Instagram, we'll say when I got my start to it, I was doing everything through Instagram. I didn't know about any CapCuts. I didn't know about any editing programs. I did everything on Instagram. And then about 2 or 3 months in, I learned about CapCut, and I went, "Oh my God, this
mhm.
just opened everything up. This is crazy." Because at that time, they were hitting music. They were hitting music all the time. They would just mute your video, right? You could use the music from Instagram, but they would mute it.
Oh,
So your video
Yeah.
was still there, but
oh,
I
you had no
remember
music.
that.
And then I started learning that I could do this on CapCut and start adding whatever music I wanted at this
so
point, and they didn't do
music.
that at first.
Oh, dude, you reminded me something. Sorry.
Good. No,
No,
that's
Great
no.
okay.
app. Another great app. It's called. I don't think you can get it for Android, but Android you can just record off of your phone. So, on iPhone users, it's called Record It.
Okay.
What you do, it'll let you record up to 10 minutes long. So what I do is I go onto YouTube and I find never use the original artist's thing because it has too many views. It'll fucking get you chopped. But if you find like, that's why I always do remixes and instrumentals and shit. So I'll
Yeah.
find whatever song that I want, even if I don't use that, even if I'm gonna post it on Instagram as a reel, because by having that, I can build the music off of the template, so it helps me coordinate the video. And then if I
Yeah.
know it's like, say, if I know the actual songs on Instagram, instead of fighting the algorithm, I'll just use their music. But now it's already pre-built to that song, and then I'll upload it that way.
Good point too.
Exactly.
That's a really good point. Yep. Nice. Mini
um,
Cannabis is going to rewatch this. Yeah, there's a lot of good tips in here actually for people that are wanting to get a little deeper into their video production, I guess, because that's basically what this is at the end of the day. It's your video production. It's the quality of content
Yep.
that you're putting out. And
Yeah.
there's all kinds of different versions of content creators. There's the people that just love showing their plants, so they just take pictures and they show their plants.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. There's people
No.
that like to just shoot a quick little video and talk while their plants are on. Nothing wrong with that. Then there's the people that want to get more into it and edit their videos and add music and add funny clips and the meme
Pe-
videos and stuff like
people,
that. There's so
pets,
many versions of this.
yeah, people, pets, plants are super receptive. People. I did a Google course once. Like I used to be in automotive management, so a lot of my marketing and all my background is because of that. And so I did a Google Namas course like 25 years ago, and it kind of blew my mind. It made me think, right? So it made me think like a bit of a computer. And living in today's age, that's probably not a bad thing. I also
No, it's
want to
not.
say collaborate, collaborate, collaborate. Doing things as groups, like I'm now doing a venture with my good friend Watson the Green Bean. Um,
Yes.
the higher choice analogy. It's so I think you. I don't know if you don't know. I'm also a licensed bud tender, so I did that so I could participate in the community and I can be part of it's like it getting better. Like I think I started out like many people, in which point I thought the system was kind of shit. But like I was making a blind session based on the very start of things, and there's a lot of passionate and good people, and there's good brands there. It's really just a matter of sorting them out. So for me, I like to support that as well as home growers still and grow my own. It's still the bulk source of my stuff, but this is fun for me to do. And it gets me involved with some of the giants in the Canadian industry. So it's given me opportunities to learn a lot about like the sciences. I've been able to go to research facilities and participate in cannabis studies. Um, so like
Nice.
it's really led to a lot more, and the key to that was getting involved to start, but collaborations, and especially if you deal with a cannabis company. I want to say something about an influencer in the cannabis world. You are so fucking important because cannabis cannot be advertised. We are the advertisers of cannabis. Okay, we are the
Yep.
message people get. What message are they going to get? They used to get dumb. Like when I was in high school, stoners were dumb. That was what they called them. They were dumb and lazy. Now,
Yeah, when I was in high school, they talked about stoners as the egg in the frying pan. This is your brain on drugs, blah blah
yeah,
blah. That's
Yep.
what stoners were back then.
yeah. But you know what? There's some pretty fucking smart people, and there's some real innovation happening. Like,
Absolutely.
it's not even just about getting high anymore. Like, you can consume cannabis through lozenges, through inhaling it, through liquid terpenes, through a lot of things. And the cannabis industry is getting better. We're breaking the mold, and don't be the fucking ones holding us back. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Is this because I'm passionate about the plant? If I'm going to speak for cannabis, I'm going to do a good job. That's why I
Yeah.
wanted to share this too, is because I know you care too. So let's get this shit going the right way. Let's get
Oh
like
yeah.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
real people motivated in doing what's best for for the real fucking fam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like it's gonna be hard to take down if we all get in the right direction at the same time.
100%. I was
Exactly.
watching. You were talking about pigeons and Rob and some of these much bigger people in this cannabis space earlier. Um, I heard pigeons talking about um, content creation as a whole now compared to 5 years ago, 10 years ago,
Mhm.
and listening to these guys talk about it, they've been here for a long time. They started before we were doing anything like what we're doing now. It was way different back then, and um, they 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 keep saying, like the content creation is at its best right now because
Yeah.
there's so many people here. There's so many people that are into this. There's so many people that want to learn not only about cannabis, but about content creation, making good quality content to push cannabis.
Yeah.
You know, I think the better quality that we can make, the more we're going to be heard, the louder we're heard. Because if, like you
Yeah.
said, you make a long video, post it on Instagram, 5 minutes long, 13 seconds of it gets watched, where
Yep.
there's, you know,
I love my,
over
I
four and a
love my
half minutes
YouTube
of it
people.
right there that don't get watched. So it's like,
You know what the crazy thing is? The same people. Like, so the beautiful thing about it is like a lot of my growth on YouTube is because my Instagram family comes over, and it's weird, but it's
yep,
true. Like, the same people that, like, some of them probably watch it on Instagram too. They're the reason it's 13 and not 7 or something with that amount of views, right? But
right.
they actually watch it on YouTube, and that's a conditioning. It's not the person. A person, you go onto YouTube, spend time.
You go in
It's
there to
different.
watch
You're
longer
watching longer
videos.
things. It's
Yeah.
crime podcasts. It's tattoo videos. It's fucking music.
Yep.
It's your favorite podcast. It's right. You know,
Yep.
home exploring this, or this guy's building that. Like, that's how I use it. And I watch all your videos, right? But
Very
you
much
know,
the same way. I go to Instagram to watch the short videos. I
yeah,
go to Facebook to watch short videos. I go to TikTok to watch short videos, and I go to YouTube to watch
you're
shit. I'll
somebody's
sit there and
bathroom
Longer.
watch
break.
3 hour a 3 hour video on YouTube where
Yeah.
I wouldn't give, 5 minutes the time of day on Instagram because that's not what I'm there for, really. So
Yeah. Hey
I know
man,
I know exactly
you're
what you mean.
somebody's bathroom break, brother.
Right.
Yep.
Exactly.
Somebody's smoke break.
Exactly.
Like,
That's right. That's right.
yes,
Hey,
YouTube is
I'm
episodes.
okay.
And
I'm okay with that.
yeah, shout out to my boy Skoke out there, Ryan. You had me
Oh
sorry.
yeah.
When I was laughing, I wasn't laughing. You were talking serious, and I'm sorry I started laughing, but it was Ryan's
No,
fucking
that's
comedy.
okay.
He's like, I'm deflated high on the couch, and that
Yeah,
one
I
got
seen
me
that.
because did you see in the comments everybody was talking about the different stoner videos, like
Yeah.
the egg frying and like you're
Yeah.
gonna die from marijuana.
Oh yeah. The reefer madness.
Yeah, right from madness.
Yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, man, we've hit the hour and
We
thank you
have.
because I think I've learned a lot from this and I hope Bunny's learned a lot, I bet, and I hope people in the
I'm
chat have
still
learned a lot.
processing things.
Well, I sorry, I know I talk fast, right? But I talk too much too.
Oh,
No, but
no,
that's okay.
no. It's
But like Dee said earlier, the video will be posted, so you can go back and watch it 1,000 times if you want to, and that helps us as well. So,
exactly.
I appreciate it, and you know what?
oh yeah,
Thanks for giving me an outlet and an opportunity to come and just do what we do, do what we're supposed to do, share
absolutely,
knowledge, So
Yeah.
I want to see every one of you fucking win. That's why I'm telling you all what I do. So I'll be watching your video. By the way, before I go, I want to say this too. Clean your fucking bongs, people. Don't show me no fucking dirty bangers and no dirty bongs anymore, okay? I want to see clean
and that's
fucking
not the only
bongs.
thing that's not the only thing to clean either.
Yeah, yeah,
Your phone's been in your pocket all day, rumbling around. It's dusty. Who knows what's in your pockets? Before you record your videos, take a little like sunglasses
yeah.
cloth, just
Oh,
give your camera a little wipe there.
and Dax, I'm gonna tell you the same thing I tell myself every time I break my camera out. As the guy did your editing, watch your
Yep.
thumb.
Yeah.
Watch
Gotta
your
get my
thumb.
thumb in there.
Yeah, your fucking finger. Yeah,
Yeah.
I get myself too, man. Watch those fingers, folks.
Oh yeah.
You'll see it. It's just you don't see it until you post it, and all of a sudden it's like, is that a fucking like a blurred finger?
Yeah. I do that sometimes too, or you'll like get a little too close to a leaf or something, and it just like blocks the whole screen. And
Me, it's my
yeah.
toes.
Wash your ass
It's
and
my
be
feet.
Well, now that you just said that out loud, you're gonna have 1 million views. Your videos are going viral. You're gonna have people over there watching for Bunny's feet.
what's that? Wash your ass. Why? Because I read his comment. Hey, thanks
Whose
everybody.
comment?
And
Oh yeah,
any questions, you guys got me. DM me.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yes, please let everyone know where they can reach you.
Absolutely. I'm D the Bug Guy, so that's at D the Bug Guy. It's one word on both platforms on YouTube. You
I
can
think I
find me
got
both.
both your links.
Yeah, pardon me?
posted in the description. I think both
Oh,
your links
beautiful.
are posted down below.
Appreciate it.
Even
And
better.
Double check.
and again, I'm looking forward to the THCA. It's a new adventure for me. It's a fun. It's going to be a fun chance, and this is where I'm going to share the information and the knowledge about like the plant and some of these things. So I'm hoping to see some of you guys over there if that interests you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And anytime you want, anytime you're doing a premiere or anything like that, just tag us in it, and we'll share it and try to tell people what time you're on and where you're at and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, man. Well, thanks again, eh?
all right, brother. Thank you.
Yes, thank
We
you so
appreciate you coming
much.
on and giving us the D the Bud Guy secrets.
This was fun, man. A lot of great questions too. It was fun.
Nice.
It was.
All right, brother. We will talk at you soon, and you have a good rest of your week, and hopefully we see you Friday.
For sure.
Yes.
All right.
All
Have a
right.
great night.
You too.
Peace out.
Peace out, fam.
Yeah.
What an amazing episode. I'm definitely
was
going
fun.
to have to rewatch that one again.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to rewatch some of that too, because there was, like I said at the beginning, there's a lot of stuff that I knew,
Mhm.
but then he touched on things that I did know and added things into those that I didn't know, and then I learned a whole bunch of other stuff. So he helped me make some of the stuff I know better by making me understand it a little bit more. So hopefully it did the
Yes.
same for you and some of the other people in the chat, and maybe we'll
Anybody
start seeing
watching this?
some pretty crazy videos coming out soon.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so stay tuned. On Friday, we have Show Your Grow. And next Wednesday, we have Jake from Romulan Genetics coming on. So that's going to
which is
be
going to be,
a very good episode as well.
I'm excited for that one. That's going to be cool. He's
Yes.
not only is he a smart guy, but he's got some really cool stories, and he's got some fucking awesome strains out there that I've never had a chance to grow yet. So I'm hoping in the near
Yes.
future I can jump on board with some of the Romulan stuff. And I know Thurgood in the chat down there. He's a big
He's happy.
Romulan grower. Lowe's
Yes.
Grows. He does some Romulan. Like, there's a lot of people
He
out there right now that
does.
are doing Romulan. So I'd like to hear some stories about some of those genetics and how he came up with them and names
And if
and
you guys have any
all of it.
questions, be there on Wednesday and we'll try and get to all the questions as they come.
Hell yeah.
And with that
Hell
being
yeah.
said, have a great night and we'll see you Friday.
Peace.